put the headlight back in, I cleaned it up, and I was actually able to use the original lights that were dangling, because what happened was this shroud here rotted away. So I bought these from Amazon, and they're not quite the same, but these shrouds do fit the OEM lights, so I was able to use the OEM lights. And what's nice is the Amazon ones, see, there's only 2 leads, so all they have is the turn signal indicator, whereas these have 3 leads, which means that it's got a running light. So when the battery's on, or when the ignition key is on, these lights are also on, and they're also turn signal indicators. So that's cool. So if you have a Ninja 500, or even like a 250, where you still have the lights, but these shrouds are broken and the lights are just dangling, just order these from Amazon and take the shroud out. And then of course, if anything happens, I can actually replace these lights with this light, and then run a 3rd wire in and use a different a 2-element bulb instead of a single element bulb. So there you go, OEM lights back in. Got the windshield put on, and I gotta pull the front wheel off to get the front fender off, and then I gotta get the front fender off the other bike. But it looks a little goofy with the green tank, but you know, a little bit at a time. The new mud guard should be coming today. I couldn't get the running lights to work, but the turn signal lights work real good. And apparently the headlight doesn't come on unless the engine's on. So there you go. Keep moving. I took the, I guess they call it the mud guard, off the other Ninja and put it on this one, and replaced the tail lights. The old tail lights stick out a little bit further, and I tried to use the components from this light to modify the original lights, but they don't fit. But I was able to just use it without the little plastic extension, and it fit great. So yeah, if you ever have a Ninja 500 or 250 and the tail lights or the front lights are broken, you can just order these from Amazon. I think they were like 20 bucks or something. I can't remember what the price. I'll put the link. But yeah, just take that little extension off and it'll bolt right in. Leave the original gasket there, and of course I had to wire up the bullet connections are bigger than the OEM bullet connections. So what I did was I just put a I got a connection set from Amazon, and I just made I guess they call them knife connectors, and I stuck it in there and they work. It's the left turn signal and right turn signal, and the brake light works real good too. So yep, but what I did was I ordered another one with the original lights from eBay, and I think it was like 27 bucks, where it came with the whole mud guard, and the OEM lights were still intact. So I'm gonna replace it with this one, but I just wanted to use this bike to make sure all the wiring works before I put it back on that bike, so I'll be taking this off later. Pulled off the front wheel, and tire looks all right, so I'm gonna keep the tire. I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. But I pulled the front brake caliper off. It's it needed some help. I wire brushed all that because they painted it green, not very well. So after I clean it up, I'm gonna have to re-grease the pistons there because they're all dried out, and get it back into place. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that green on the brake caliper anyway. So cleaning it up is nice and clean. The red stuff is anti-squeal. Oop. And I went and greased up the pistons that went inside there. So I'll let it set for, I don't know, a little while, hour or so, and then I'll hook it back up to the wheel and leave the brakes. Brake. Well, there's always a a hiccup to the plans. I finally got the mud guard from eBay, and it's complete, but it's broken. So the moving forward, since this bike is going to be the good bike, I'm going to take the good mud guard, put the OEM lights on the good mud guard, and put these lights on the broken mud guard, and put that on that bike there. So it's always something. Okay, got the OEM mud guard installed, and I bought the OEM lights, and they work good. Yeah, buddy. Ooh. One of the things that the 2007 Ninja issues had was that the front brake would pulse, because what happens is the disc was kind of lopsided, and it's supposed to float on this little rim here, but over the years the corrosion had stuck the disc in place and doesn't let it float. So I had to pull it off, and I use a wire brush to get the corrosion off, but it's so crusty that I'm just going to use a screwdriver to scrape all the corrosion off, or gunk, and let the disc float. Anyway, and then afterwards bolt it back on, and hopefully it doesn't pulse anymore. Not that it's a big deal, because it will stop the bike, but I don't like pulsing brakes. All right, it's all cleaned up. I mean, it's still a little bit hazy stuff, but much better than it used to be. So now I'll put the disc back on, and hopefully it won't pulse anymore.